Hello everyone, we are Team 10 and we worked with a company called Sublitex. But who is Sublitex? It's a business-to-business company working with sublimation printing on textile and in the architectural field. They have branches all over the world, UK, Turkey, Morocco, Florida and China. The company employs more than 160 workers and is located on a large production site of 20,000 square meters in Alba. They have good sales in Italy, but their main customers are abroad in more than 50 different countries. Sublitex history is interesting. It begins with the birth of the Miroglio Group in 1884. In 1971, Miroglio begins to collaborate abroad. Sublitex finally bonds in 1974 and almost 40 years later starts its digitalization. In 2018, Sublitex takes its independence from Miroglio Group. The Miroglio Group had a strong influence on Sublitex. Firstly, the tendency towards independence. Then, give importance to the environment, a good know-how of hundreds of years, and investments for good quality products. The territory of Alba has different features. It has an history commercially strong, typically products, the white truffle recognized by the UNESCO, and of course famous vineyards. It welcomes events internationally known and huge companies are implemented here, like Ferrero.
Here are some data about Alba, about the used soil. Most of them is used by the wine production, but also corn and fields. About the employment rate, we can see that more males are working than women's. Taking into account the 5,000 companies in Alba, we can see that most of them are third sectors companies and the rest are mainly second sector. About the education level, in Alba we can see that most of the people studying are middle school or high school kids and only 11% of them are in university.
Let's make a focus on the wine field. Dozens of vineyards are implemented in Alba, exporting their products all over the world. These vines are particular, and their taste is desired. Around 80% of the variety are Nebbiolo, the rest is Barbera. Concerning the festivals, there are fairs in wine and food, in music, and in flowers. Obviously, there is a high tourist affluence. It's also the occasion to showcase for local best products and also for big media coverage. Sublitex is already involved into taking care of the environment. They use water-free processes. They also use sustainable printing processes, certified paper, and they use ecological inks. Sublitex is using smoke disposal into the factory. They also reuse the printing cylinders of the Rotron gravure printing. They recycle the fabrics, and on top of that, they recycle the inks. Unfortunately, Sublitex has weaknesses. They lack of connections with Alba. They have a low visibility due to the fact that they are a B2B company. They miss a presence on the local territory, and they don't have any connections with the citizens apart from the workers. There are different kinds of wastes produced during sublimation printing. First of all, there is tissue with a bit more than 500 kilograms, which is reused inside the factory. Then there is paper with more than 150,000 kilograms burned into energy. Other wastes are produced like wood, metals, oils, galvanic bath, contaminated cloth, which are properly disposed. Also, plastic film is wasted with more than 147,000 kilograms which are burned into energy. We choose to work with paper and plastic because they are the biggest quantity. They are always available because they are needed for every process and they are recyclable and reusable. Unfortunately, they are burned, which creates environmental issues. So our team decided of two solutions. The first one working with solar energy and the second one creating plastic and cardboard packagings. Our main product is a packaging for protecting bottles, which is made in recycled polyethylene coming from the plastic films. Then, why did we choose photovoltaic? First of all, It's because sublimatic printing needs big amounts of energy. Of course, it's a good way to reduce bad impacts on the environment. There is also a big money saving in the future for Sublitex. And why wine packagings? Firstly, because there is a huge amount of polyethylene coming from plastic films which can be reused. Then because wine is a high-end product and it justifies a high-end packaging. And as we said before concerning the territory, wine is one of the most important products of Alba. And these vineyards export all around the world big quantities of wine. Thanks to wine packagings, the association with quality wine will raise the perception of Sublitex. As we saw before, there is a high consumption of wine in Italy. The wine's glass bottles need a protection and the cylinder is perfect for that. They also can be used to keep the wine cold. We choose to produce cardboard boxes because Sublitex uses big quantities of cardboard packagings, also because the cylinder needed a secondary packaging to be transported. The cardboard can be recycled multiple times, and there is also an important money saving from not buying new materials. The two main sources of energy used by Sublitex are electricity, with almost 5 million kWh per year, and gas, especially methane, with 1.3 million cubic meters. If we use the solution of the solar panels, the energy produced will be 2 million kilowatts per year, and the solar panels will cover 9,000 square meters on the factory roof. Finally, the expected income will be more than 470,000 euros per year. For the plastic packaging, there are several steps. Firstly, there are the washing and the milling, and then the extrusion of the polyethylene waste. These steps are made by the company Sinver. Then, the recycled polyethylene will be transported to BH for the molding. At the end, thanks to the calculations, we found that 107,000 items could be produced at the maximum. To summarize, we have a large possibility of item produced, also 147,000 kilograms of plastic film recycled, and an expected income on 102,000 euros per year. For the cardboard boxes, the paper waste will be transported to the Benassi Ambiente, a company who is in charge of the milling and the paper recycling. Then the recycled cardboard will be sent to the company Andalba, which will care about the die cutting. Finally, 6,000 items of cardboards could be created. The number of items produced will be enough to cover the plastic packaging of the wine. Up to 152,000 kilograms of waste could be recycled. The expected income can reach 10,000 euros per year. The wine packaging could be designed through associations like Progetto Agora or Fondazione Emmaus. These products could be designed by disabled people or prisoners, themselves taught by local artists. Then the products will be unique pieces and could be exposed during art exhibits or public exhibits during the new annual Alba Festival. Working with associations will reinforce the link with important local realities. The aim is to help disadvantaged people. There will be a good return on visibility for Sublitex, and after studying the territory, there already exist associations to work with. In mixing art and social, the unique pieces will help to provide psychological support and healing. This will also improve their manual abilities. And of course, it will involve and promote the local artists around Alba. Adding wine packaging to the festivals will bring attention, visitors, and also money to the city. It will also give a return in visibility to the sponsors. And Alba hosts a lot of good quality festivals and had good quality typical products. Thanks to art collaborations between local artists and different actors, several types of wine packaging design could be produced. Here is an example. Here is the process of the new system with all the links. As you can see, it's a bit complex. So we're gonna read another one, which is a synthesis. Here are the different areas involved for our two main solutions. As we can see, they are all linked with sublimation printing. On top of that, they are linked together, like the production, which is linked with the social area and the wine area, or the business one, which is linked with the supply area and the energy one. For the timing of the project evolution, all begin during the first year. There is first communication with the companies which are involved in our solutions, and also budget assessment of the photovoltaic panels. During the medium time, so 1 year after, there is the launch and production of plastic packaging as well as cardboard packagings. On top of that, there is the beginning of the installations of photovoltaic panels, which last 2 years. Then, on the long time period, we can increase the production of plastic packaging and cardboard packaging. The photovoltaic panels are fully operative and it will finally be profitable for the company. For the timing of consequences, there will be first new relations with local companies, which will be strengthened with time. On the social aspects, there also will be new relations with local associations and funding. The environmental consequences will be obviously positive with reduction of wastes and emissions. In the economical field, there will be less taxes and waste disposal expenses. This reduction of wastes and emissions will improve the local air quality, as well as the reduction of use of non-renewable energy sources. Of course, it will impact positively the health. Concerning the social consequences, there will be solid collaboration with local companies, collaborations with local associations and artists. This will cause the raising awareness on recycling and reuse and improve the independence, find some jobs for disadvantaged people. Concerning the economic consequences, there will be earning from the new product we wanted to create, an economic return from photovoltaic panels. Of course, there will be less expenses from buying new packagings and also less taxes and disposal expenses.
To conclude, thanks to systemic design thinking and systemic design tools, we've tried to find the best solution to take in account the social aspect, economical aspect, but also ecological aspect of the problem. This solution might not look optimal if we look at only one side of the problem, but thanks to a holistic diagnosis and a big reflection into the big scale of the problem, this solution remains for us the best.
Thank you for watching this video.